fuck, I'm getting fat. Ugh. Maybe it's just the hairstyle. Anyways, that being said, science versus religion, what makes you moral? Neither. Alright, I want you to think about something for a moment. World War II, Hitler killed how many Jews? The numbers have been disputed throughout much time. But I'm going to tell you this right now. A large part of that, it's bullshit. It wasn't near as many as like the 20 million Jews. No. Okay. So, using my Hitler example, a lot of people will state that it was his Catholicism that allowed him to kill the Jews with such ease. I say no, but a lot of people will use that. Another bit stating whether or not he was able to kill so many people with such ease was that there was scientific backing proving that the Jews were more terrible and destructive to humankind than really that should be allowed. Therefore, we must exterminate them. Well, we've got that answer. It doesn't make you moral or immoral to have religion or to have science as your main benefactor in your way of thinking. In fact, I'd like to call science a religion itself. Why? Because so many people, like religious fanatics, believe a bunch of bullshit that later gets disproven. Okay, a lot of the evolutionists, we found the missing link. Guess what? That missing link turned out to be the jawbone of a pig. That ever occur to you? No, because you don't want to believe it. Then again, with the religious folk, oh, how'd the dinosaur bones get there? God put them there to test our faith. Look, atrocities have been committed by both sides. Just like how on both sides there have been wonderful, amazing things. I've seen more wonderful, amazing things on the religious side. However, I've also seen more atrocities committed in the last 10 years due to religion. Religion can make people really wonderful. Now, when I went to Job Corps, I had a Muslim friend who I still talk to every now and then. He would always bring out a giant wad of cash, which I have no idea how the fuck he got a hold of it. I assume he sold cigarettes at Job Corps, because, you know, it's $10 for a pack of Newports, which cost, like, $7, $6 or $7 in Indiana at the time period. I don't know what they cost now. And he'd just hand out random bits of money to homeless people. And I asked him, why is he doing this? Because my religion says that if I have excess, I should give it to people. Or something along those lines. If you're Muslim, you're only supposed to give 2% of your paycheck to the homeless. This guy wasn't making all that much at Job Corps. Yet he had at least $200 every fucking weekend. And he would hand out at least 150 of it to the homeless people. That last 50, he'd buy a video game. Or food. Sometimes he'd buy food and hand that off to the homeless. And yet, also, since we're talking about Muslims, 9/11! Let's talk about Syria! Let's look at all the atrocities that have been committed in the name of Islam, which actually goes against the religion. That being said, let's talk a little bit more about science. Like I said before, science has benefited mankind in so many different ways. I mean, there's too many ways to even try. I can't even think of where to start. However, along with that, you get these people who believe that because of science, it proves that they're better than somebody, and they're fucking retarded. Okay. Eugenicists. Little did many people know that America used to sterilize people if they didn't fit certain quotias of things. Or if they had family members who had mental illness, or just crazy shit like that. I believe it's more environment than hereditary, but that's another video. So, we used to sterilize people left and right. What happened from that? Well, we wound up stopping, because there's a whole bunch of people who were pissed off about it. Google the name Margaret Sanger. Stupid cunt. Pisses me off. So, we got all these innocent people who have nothing to do with the crimes that have been committed by their family members, and we have the government wanting to sterilize them. Think about that for a moment. You don't do anything. Let's say you've got a brother that goes off to war, he comes back with PTSD and kills half a classroom of people just because he doesn't like that half the classroom is a certain color or something like that, because he has a PTSD trip. Suddenly the government says, we want to sterilize you to make sure this doesn't happen again. How would you fucking feel? I tell you what, I don't know what I would do, but I know it'd be irrational. Because I freak the fuck out. See, it goes both ways. Science and religion can benefit mankind more than anything else, as well as it can destroy mankind. Anyone who says you need to put an end to religion, you need to shut the fuck up and think about your own religion, science. People will believe that shit just because it suits their own personal wishes. Here's another thing. Before I go, any of you Christians who think the Crusades were about taking back the Holy Land, guess what? Israel fell upon its own fruition, upon its own bullshit. The biggest act of terrorism ever was the Crusades. So if any of you Christians supported that shit, or think that it was some holy war, no, it was about power, just the same as the wars that are going on now. Except instead of having government bodies, people all believed in the church, and, well, yeah. Raping, pillaging, just like a little crusader that I am. If anyone wants to know if I'm religious, fuck you, I'm not telling you shit. Look at the beads and ask yourself another question. I'm done.